Nature is interconnected. Every species and element relies on one another. Similarly, language skills like speaking, writing, listening and reading are also interdependent. Neglecting one skill can harm the overall progress of language learners in English. The complexity of speaking leaves it in danger of being neglected, more so than the other skills. Speaking is the most exposed and open to judgment. When something is observable, it can be judged negatively, real or perceived. Speaking is also generally carried out in real time, so usually there's no opportunity for preparation or revision as with writing. So, as teachers, it's crucial to boost their confidence in their speaking and keep that balance in the ecosystem of their language learning. Let's hit it. Hi, I'm Damien Herlihy, a vlogger at Pavilion ELT. Welcome to the January-February issue of the Modern English Teacher with the theme of speaking. I'll be discussing Rona Snelling's article, Speaking, What is it and How We Can Teach It. I'll be focusing on the 5 R's of teaching speaking. More on those later. In my own language learning journey, I remember feeling really discouraged when it came to speaking Thai. I mean, who wouldn't be? You put yourself out there trying to communicate with others in a new language and you get misunderstood or people react negatively. It can feel like you're wearing a mask when speaking in a second language. People can't see the real you. I needed a teacher to help me realise that those missteps and setbacks were just part of the process. So maybe there are some tips in the 5 R's for me too. Snelling believes fluency and accuracy can't exist without each other. Speaking accurately leads to fluency, and speaking fluently allows for accurate language use. Once again, everything is interconnected. We can't see language as discrete items. As a teacher, an accuracy activity requires your intervention, while a fluency activity needs your silent observation. In my courses, I aim to integrate both types of activities. For example, in one of my IELTS prep courses, I would have a fluency activity based around the part 1 of the speaking test. And that activity was a speed dating type activity where the students would sit face to face and quickly discuss their ideas. In addition, I would focus on accuracy when we would do mock tests. But both of them, once again, fed into each other. Errors are simply incorrect language samples. Liste and Ranter identified 6 types of feedback. Explicit. Teacher says it's wrong. Recast. Teacher repeats the incorrect utterance but uses correct language. Elicitation. The teacher questions the error or repeats the sentence up to the error point. Metalinguistic. The teacher provides comments on or provides information about the error. Clarification. The teacher says they don't understand. And repetition. The teacher repeats the error to highlight it. Feedback is a crucial role of a teacher that can help students reach their speaking goals faster. Whenever I get one-to-one tutoring, I search out teachers who consistently give supportive and precise feedback. A quick feedback loop is essential to improving in a language. As if we could forget pronunciation skills when discussing speaking. Just as there are many sub-skills of speaking, there are many sub-skills that make up pronunciation. Snelling boils down good pronunciation as an utterance that is comprehensible and intelligible to another. It's that simple. Are you understood or not? In pronunciation, it's also good that you utilize the receptive stage to help students recognize and notice patterns. Encourage students to experience the mechanics of the mouth when learning new vocabulary and to rehearse privately. Listening and speaking are interconnected, so students need to hear sounds to produce them correctly. In listening gap fill activities, I look for the responses that students are having problems with, and a lot of the time, it's not related to the listening, but rather to not being able to form the sound in their mouth correctly. In the classroom, we need to provide opportunities for students to speak and at the same time reduce unnecessary teacher talk. Also, energize the students with movement and integrate speaking into the other 4 skills. Finally, encourage the practice of speaking skills outside the class with activities like shadowing, reading a text out loud, or creating an online journal. I did an episode in the past focusing on these type of activities, which you can find in the description. Conduct some action research on spoken interactions in the classroom. Record your class and take notes of the types of interactions and how many there are. Some things you might notice are that students may feel comfortable talking to some people than others in the L2 classroom. Whenever possible, try to rotate partners and groups in order to maximize different interactions. While for yourself, think about where do you usually position yourself in the classroom. For teacher-led activities, you need to be seen by all of the students. For student-to-student work, aim to be a ghost and move around quietly to monitor students. Finally, think about the physical space. Does your space allow students to interact easily? In my classroom, I like to have islands on the outside and a communal talking area in the center of the classroom. Learning a language, as I've repeated many times, is an interconnected process, with speaking being the most exposed of the 4 skills. To help counteract this exposure, use the 5 R's. Reconsider fluency and accuracy, recognize errors, remember pronunciation, relish opportunities, and review interactions. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What strategies do you use to support speaking in the classroom? And don't forget, subscribing to the Modern English Teacher will give you access to more fantastic resources for your professional growth. See you next time.